Record. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Monday, June 1st. We're almost
June.
halfway through the year, the
Yeah,
start of
yeah.
the halfway through the year.
Wow, wow,
This is
wow.
Elevating Your Voice. We're here with Kimberly Carr. Now, how long you been at Brokers Hub?
I have only been at Broker's Hub since like November.
Since
Not
November.
very long. Yeah,
Okay.
So,
just about 7 months now, six,
so,
seven
so,
months.
so 7 months into the wonderful world of BHR, which is pretty cool. Did you do the
It is
Club
very cool.
777?
I did not.
Okay, why not,
Now
Slacker?
there's a reason, only because I have another business. I really
Oh,
Oh,
want
okay.
to, but I just didn't know if I could. I sometimes struggle just to do mentorship with Jen. She's amazing, by the way.
right.
So I mentor under her, but it is a bit of a challenge with another whole other business.
What's the other business?
So I own Zip Zap Termite and Pest Control.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I have owned it since 2022,
okay.
100% owner. So it's a very niche pest control company. We actually only specialize in park model communities, resort communities throughout
Oh,
the East Valley. Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Oh,
So we do other things. Like I can do termite inspections, I can do
yeah.
termite treatments, etc. But and I do them, but
Hmm.
primarily I would say better than 90% is all wrapped up in park model communities.
So,
Oh,
so
So,
what's got you into wanting to do that? Because that's just
oh
a
yeah,
weird little niche business. I'm going to kill
that's
bugs for
not
a
a
living.
want to do. That's not a want to do. I didn't grow up to want to be the pest control girl, that's for sure. Um, I was married
Okay.
and
Congratulations.
thanks, yes. He was wonderful. We were
Oh,
together for about 15 years in total. And
okay.
in 2014, he became an employee of this company. And then in 2018, he became the owner.
Okay.
And in
okay.
2022, he passed away.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
So, yeah. So I, by proxy, became the full owner. But here I am, still profiting, still growing by 20% every year. So
Oh, that's
we're not
great.
we're not doing too bad. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
okay. It's a lot though. It's a lot. But I have good people. I've learned to
yeah,
leverage my people, right?
yeah.
So that
Yes.
helps a lot. And that's why this year I'm focusing at BHR on doing a lot more real estate than I
Okay.
ever have in the past.
So how
Nice.
long have you had your license?
2016. In fact, Nick just sent me a message yesterday and he's like, let's go party. You've been an agent for 10 years. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I just started.
Yeah, Nick must have been digging down the rabbit hole yesterday because he sent me a message basically telling me, which I knew in a roundabout way, that he and I were licensed generally at the same time, but I beat him by 6 months.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you've been at BHR for since November.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the onboarding, your experience so far over here at
Yeah.
BHR.
So the brokerment and transactions, the way that you guys do them was very, very different from the way that my other brokerage that I came from did it.
Okay.
So that was a whole learning. Onboarding with Christy was amazing. She's really, really good. I still have my little password sheet. Like she said, bring your computer. We're gonna hook up. I have to have it. Like I
Yeah.
guess I'm just too old to remember everything by heart. Um, but yeah, so it was a lot, but there is
Okay.
so much more at BHR that you offer in terms of training, and that onboarding process is really extensive comparatively to other brokerages.
Right.
So I really enjoyed it. I've learned just so much. And once you get used to brokerment, of course, it's like the easiest thing
Yeah,
ever, right? But
right.
took a bit. It was a learning curve for sure.
Awesome. And so tell us a little bit before BHR. Were you doing a lot of in the East Valley? What's your business been like?
Yeah, so I started in 2016. I got my license primarily just to flip houses. So
Okay.
with my other business, we in the summer months we were primarily just winter visitors, right? So in the summer months we had a lot of downtime. So my goal was to flip houses in the summer. And
Oh,
I got
Mm,
so busy the first 2 years doing real estate that I didn't have time to flip anything. I
oh,
okay.
remodeled the houses that I lived in, which I made great purchases for myself, but I didn't, yeah, have any time to do any of what I thought I would do. So I at the time was USPR. I don't know if you guys remember US Preferred Realty.
mm-mm.
They they were a smaller brokerage that eventually became Deluxe.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay.
They
Somebody's on my
sold
door.
out and went to Deluxe Realty. So I was part of the Deluxe Realty group when it was brand new here in Arizona. And then I moved over to the offshoot of that, which was Superlative Realty, which is kind of a boutique brokerage. So that's,
Okay.
they didn't offer, they don't, I mean, Deluxe probably does, but I wasn't part of Deluxe. So Superlative and some of those smaller brokerages, they're not built like VHR at all. There's no
Okay.
mentorship. There's no
Yeah.
training. There isn't
Yeah.
the quality people. I love the people there. Don't get me wrong. The quality or the level of competition you
Yeah.
guys offer at BHR is significantly different.
Awesome.
So
That's awesome to
yeah.
hear. So how'd you find out about BHR?
So if anyone is familiar with Michael Bell, he
Oh, yeah.
is a lender, right? For CMG, I think that's where he's at now. But he and I are great friends, and he told me about Jen. And he said, you got to meet Jen Jenkins. She's amazing. You're going to love her. She offers a program for you to mentor under her. And she offers that program to agents regardless of being a part of BHR or not.
Right.
And so I immediately sought a coffee date with her and we hooked up, and she's wonderful. And I bought her book that she has. And
Yeah.
in talking to her, she was looking to expand her team and didn't have anybody on the east side. And
Okay.
I'm about as far east as you can get without bumping into Florence. So I'm kind of
Oh,
out here with Chris out in the boondocks, but I'm north of him. So
okay. Okay. So tell
yeah,
me,
Boondocks.
boondocks. We
I
she's
are in
heard
the
she's
all of
out
that.
there.
boondocks.
She's an east sider
I know.
like you.
I know. I heard of all. She lives like 5 minutes from one of my listings.
Yeah, I'm just around the corner. So I have 2.5 acres at the base of the Superstitions. And
Yeah.
I'm 4 houses from the National Forest. So I'm out here between Gold Canyon and Apache Junction in a no man's land. Chris's listing is on one side of the road, and if you go
Right.
on the other side of the road and head back east a mile, then you'll find me
Yep.
tucked
Hold
up
on.
against the mountain.
Wow.
He's,
Wow.
he's sleeping again.
What's going on over there?
Must be very important business at the door.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're on the east side. So I'm guessing all of your business is focused on the east side of Phoenix. Can I assume that? Kimberly?
So I have had some sales and buyers that have been west side, primarily east side, and Gold Canyon is my focus. That is tucked away out here. Properties, large homes, grand homes, luxurious homes.
Right.
And so, but it's one of those markets where they've had the same agents for years and years and years, and no one can break in. So I've been very fortunate, and I've befriended some people out here that have made great referral connections for me. So I'm starting to get my name into that area, but primarily Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert,
Right.
all East Valley stuff is where I've been.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a very unique market
Sorry.
out there, especially like in Gold Canyon area, because obviously it's growing, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
obviously growing, and so you have a great opportunity to be one of the go-to realtors out there, right? But at the same time, it's like, how do you find people when there's nothing there yet? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And so I think
Right.
that's a little tough because, if you want to farm for example, if you want to farm Garfield, right, here in downtown, there's people already there. They have they have mailboxes,
Right.
go knock on the door. But in Gold Canyon, those areas well, not Apache Junction anymore, but there's just land, right?
There's a
And
lot of land.
a
Yeah.
lot of land, but we know it's growing. And that's without a doubt. I mean, even 3 years ago, nobody knew about Gold Canyon.
Right. And it is, and they're all the time developing, and Chris may know this from his listing. They're all the time developing the area that we know as Apache Trail. or old route Apache Trail Main Street. They're moving towards making that more like downtown Scottsdale, an old Scottsdale vibe, an old cowboy town. So that plus other retail that they're bringing in along the 60 is really pushing the home values. And they Blossom Rock is a new community out here in Apache Junction that is towards you, Chris, actually south of the highway. And that one's becoming very popular. They've got lakes and paths and all kinds of things.
Yeah, they're building a massive new home community in AJ, like thousands of homes. And sorry for the interruption. I have a lawn tractors, and the lawn tractor guy was here to fix it. And I specifically told him from 9 to 10, I'm tied up, and he kept knocking on my door anyway. So, people don't listen. So I had to go, smack him beside the head a little bit. Like, dude, I told you I was going to be tied up. Like, why are you knocking on my door? Because he just kept knocking on the door. I thought of the Cheech and Chong thing. Dave's not here.
I'm glad you're back.
I am back. And I heard everything because I have my AirPods in. So I heard the entire conversation. So, continue.
No, I heard a few years ago, I heard a rumor that there was something that I think Apache Junction and Gold Canyon were unincorporated, and they were going to merge, and that way they were going to get some funds from the city. Do you guys know anything about that?
Really?
I don't.
I have not heard anything about that. I know that Apache Junction is incorporated, but
it is.
But Gold Canyon is.
Okay.
So they have a different zip code out there. But a lot of times when they're doing utilities and stuff, they'll put Apache Junction on the address anyway, just because they can't, like if they're an SRP or Arizona Water Company, they can't find them if they put Gold Canyon in, right? Because it's not incorporated, as I understand it. Don't quote me on that, but that's how I understand it. So, but they're going to have to do something eventually, put a post office in Gold Canyon and make it incorporated because it is growing. So
it is growing.
Huge.
Yeah.
All the way out to El Dorado.
Gold Canyon's a cool little space for sure. Amazing hiking and running trails out there too.
So fun. So have you been to the Broadway Trail? Broadway Trail that goes up to the cave?
Yeah, we've done Nikki and I are trail runners, so we've races and hiking and all that kind of jazz. So over the years, yeah.
That's like 500 yards from my house.
Oh, right on.
That's the cave trail is right there. Yeah.
Very cool. The Wave Cave.
That one's in Peralta.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right.
Peralta, yeah.
Damn it.
This might be a great opportunity for you as well for your second business to maybe pick up some residential, right? I mean, because I'm sure building out there, you're going to get all kinds of critters.
Yeah,
for sure. So they have a lot of those park model communities all along the 60 on the south side as you head towards Gold Canyon, and then a lot of the building and everything is going on the north side, closer to the mountains. So my pest control business could sustain more park model business, but residential and stuff like that. So I have 3 children, but one of my boys is in school for business management, and when he gets out, it's his goal to take Zip Zap to the next level.
Oh, right on.
Hand over the key,
right on,
and let him run with it. And that's probably Marco something that he'll look into is marketing to those newer communities. So we'll combine forces and head that way with real estate and pest control all in one.
So is the goal to phase out the Zip Zap and do full-time real estate? Is that the goal?
I would love that. I told Jen a long time ago when we first got together that if I could surpass my income with pest control, I would just do real estate, right? Not that I don't love it. Like, I'm not passionate about the pest control.
You're not passionate about killing things every day? Come on.
So I feel like I'm just drawn towards real estate and let somebody else do the bugs. So yeah, if I could surpass that income, I would definitely do real estate, just real estate by itself. The pest control is almost residual at this point. And so people in business look at me and they're like, you're crazy, because I have all of these recurring clients on an annual prepaid basis. So the money just comes in automatically and they're not even here. And we're doing services around the clock. So right now I'm booked on termite services until September, and pest control is constantly booked 12 months out of the year. It's always booked.
Okay.
So it's on autopilot.
I need to start a side hustle.
It's a very unique
That's
program, and I have zero
crazy.
marketing budget. So what I do is in park model communities, and I wish we could sell park models, because if we could sell park models, I could do so much. But in park model communities, they're 6 feet apart, right?
Mhm.
They're all the time on their patios having parties. So I
Mhm.
tell one person, if you recruit 10 people, I'll give you your service for free.
Wow.
And it
Mm.
goes like
Brilliant.
wildfire. It just spreads through the park. So I control 90+% of the East Valley parks.
Now, so park models you're talking about where you lease the land, right?
Correct.
No, you can sell park models.
But we can sell
Hmm.
single wides and double wides,
And we can,
right? But the
right.
park models are the tiny little ones that come with the
Oh,
motor vehicle tag.
oh,
So we
gotcha.
can't sell them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wish we could. I believe me, I'd be all over it.
Yeah, I gotcha. I was thinking it was a different because I've sold, man, whatever you want to call them, inside a park
Yes.
on a piece of land that they lease the land, but it's the DMV thing, I guess, is the difference there.
Yes. If it's a
Okay.
manufactured home and it has a deed, and it can
Yeah.
be,
Okay.
I think that the key is if you can get a mortgage on it,
Yeah. Okay.
then
Hmm.
we can sell it, right?
Yeah.
But these homes, they have to be bought with cash, like a car.
Understood.
If there's
Okay.
any type of financing, it's some kind of personal loan. It's not a mortgage. So
Aha. Okay.
Interesting.
yeah,
That makes sense.
And it is, I mean, even for double wides and single, it's so hard to finance. I
it is. You
and
have to have us. Does anybody have a special finance person for mobiles?
There's a guy named
If
there's a
you
guy named
do,
there's a guy named Eric North who get emails from randomly. All he does is manufactured financing. He's
cool.
I've known the name since I got into real estate because that's how long he's been doing it and spamming emails about manufactured but we don't talk about manufactured financing and stuff, Marco. That's totally off topic. We're talking about real estate.
all right.
So what got you into real estate to begin with, Kimberly, knowing that you have you have the zip zap, killing things every day? What made you want to go
Yeah.
into real estate? I mean, outside of the fixing and flipping, was that your only real thing? I want to fix and flex houses, so it's better for me to be the realtor to buy them?
Nope. I always loved real estate. So
Okay.
I bought my first house when I was 20.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And I turned around and sold it and profited, and then moved up in the world and kept buying and selling. So I'm on probably my personal, like, I don't know, 10th property.
Okay.
So I just love real estate. And in fact, in looking at Zip Zap, when we were growing, I started focusing on horse properties like you.
Oh, yeah.
So I started looking into where can I get property to build this business out and have it
Right.
on my at home. And so I became kind of niche in that area. I found all the little county islands and all the
Mm.
little areas
Mm.
that are zoned for horses that most
Yeah.
people don't even know exist inside of inner city limits and stuff like
Right.
that.
Mm.
So I became intrigued with that, and I really wanted to be able to dive in and sell that kind of stuff to people. Now I'm getting the opportunity to do that, where before it was just it was a lot in the beginning. Flipping houses was great.
Mm.
It was fun. We were going to do all
Yeah.
that, but then Zip Zap took off with a shot, and then he passed. So I
Yeah.
really didn't get a focus on any of that stuff like I wanted to, but now I can.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, and how old your son's obviously in college because he's going to take over the business, right?
So I have a 27-year-old who's a
Okay.
musician. He's going to be going on
Right.
tour. I
Okay.
have
What band? What's the band? What's the band?
it's not one that most people listen to, but if anyone's familiar with Sorry X, you can look them up online. They're kind of like Evanescence. I don't know if you remember that band, that Take Me to Life or
Say
Bring
it
Me
again.
Back to Life.
Evanescence. Yeah.
Evanescence was the name of the
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
group. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
she's
Okay.
the singer of Sorry X is a lot like that girl.
I see it.
So he's going on tour with them, 29
Okay.
cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I have twins that are 20, and one of
Okay.
them is a football kid. And
Okay.
he's on a full ride scholarship to Western New Mexico. He's the one that will go into Zip Zap. And the
Gotcha.
other one is actually interviewing with SRP today. He's a
Okay.
welder.
So when we get done, totally off topic, I want you to send me the information for your son that's in the band, because my other podcast I do, the Chris and Mike show, we're all about musicians and everything in between. So we can actually get them on the show and plug the hell out of them and help promote
That
them,
would be
because
cool.
that's what we do. And we actually had a band on called Incandescence, which is a total kind of Evanescence vibe, female singer, everything. not too long ago, but I actually pulled their stuff up right now. So I'm on Instagram looking at
Yeah.
their
So
page.
he owns a recording studio.
Nice.
So
Oh,
he has it
cool.
out of his home. So he
Cool.
mixes and masters. He went to the Conservatory for Recording Arts and
Sweet.
Sciences too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. My
yeah, I'll
co-host
get
on
you
that,
his
yeah,
info when we are
yeah,
done.
my co-host on that show,
Wow.
he had his own recording studio. That's how he did all the recordings when that band was together in the 90s. Yeah. Very cool. Right on.
So we're going back to real
Awesome.
estate. We're gonna
Yep.
go full-time
We're
That'd be
real
talking
great.
estate.
music now, Marco.
Going
Come
back to
on,
real
man.
estate.
Marco's gonna do this like, damn, Chris, all over the place. ADHD.
So we're getting back into real estate as far
Yes.
as we're trying to transition into going full-time, Kim. And
Yes.
so we're gonna focus on homes with horse properties. Is that are you gonna go back to that, or are you just gonna start?
Are you familiar with Susan Cunningham
I am
with
not.
the security title? So
Mm-mm.
she built a farm out for me.
Oh, that was
Okay.
nice of her.
And it's all horse properties in those areas where I was really familiar with. So I'm utilizing that.
Cool.
Okay.
But in the same hand, I've gotten so much referral business lately in Gold Canyon that I'm able to start getting my name in that Gold Canyon also. So
I'm
I
gonna
am,
go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna say I am really trying to focus around the Gold Canyon and East Apache Junction and North Apache Junction area. So up against the Goldfield Mountains and the Superstition Mountains. Those areas are land is almost gone.
Hmm.
And people are
Yeah.
starting to come out here and pull trailers off of 1.5 acre, 1.25 acre parcels and build luxurious, huge homes
Right.
on them. So there's a lot that can be done out here. I just have to find. So, oh, did you lose me?
I think we
Yeah.
lost you for a
You
little bit.
froze. That's okay. It
I'm back.
happens. Internet's a wonderful thing. So I will cost you. I was going to specifically farm my neighborhood, which is 1 to 5 acre horse property. One of the key things to farming, which everybody's gonna learn tomorrow that comes to the farming class with Nick and I, you want to find a neighborhood that has turnovers, 20% turnover every couple years. And what we've learned in living in this neighborhood for 5 years now, which I do market, mind you, and I was going to like monthly farm it. And then I realized, well, wait a minute. People that buy 1 to 5 acres of land
They
with a
aren't leaving.
house, they're not going anywhere.
No,
Like
and I
legit,
know. Yeah,
the people that move out of our neighborhood are aging out. Meaning
that's
they're
right.
just, okay, you're just, I'm tired of the land. I'm tired of the upkeep, or you have this unique circumstances where I just had one couple that moved down, um, to Elgin because it took 4 hours off their drive to see their kids in Texas. That's not a common thing,
Wow.
right? But a lot of people that buy in these neighborhoods, they put their feet down and stay. Like legit, Crazy Cat Lady's been there since the early 80s. My neighbors to the west, they're the original owners, and it was built in the 70s. Across the street from them, their brother actually built that house and lived there till COVID when he sold it to the people that are there now. To the east of me, the Psycho neighbors, they're the second owners. East of them is the original owner, but his mother lived there, died, so now he takes care of the house once a month, which is stupid. Like, dude, just sell a thing, but he's sitting on it. East of him are these people that have been the original. So just on my street alone, and Paul has probably been there, I think the original owner. So really on our street alone, myself, Nikki, and the Psycho people to the east are the only non-original owners. So the
Crazy.
turnover is not as great when
Right.
you have land. So be mindful of that. You want something you're going to have a lot of 20% turnover, which is the first time buyer price point, which again we'll get into tomorrow. But we would just caution you putting all your eggs in that basket from a farming standpoint. You're going to get some return on it for sure, but it's not going to be, you're not going to get
Huge.
heavy. Right. So you will benefit, like I've benefited from it. I've done a dozen buyers and sellers in this neighborhood, all of which have been mostly the listing side, over 5 years. But like right now, it's weird. There's 11 houses listed for sale right now in our neighborhood, which is you'd think is like, oh my gosh, because people are like, oh, there's a lot of houses listed for sale. Well, not really. There's 440 houses in the neighborhood, and
Right.
that's kind of standard. But again, it goes to the people are cycling out because of the age, and Living on an acre sucks sometimes, especially when it's all grass. Takes me 4 hours, 4 hours to take
Do
care
you
of my
know if
yard.
does
Yeah.
Apache Junction let you parcel out those those acres? Do you
It
know?
does. So like on my 2.5, I've got two 1.25, right?
Sweet.
So I can take my north 1.25 and parcel it out if I want to.
Yeah.
But will I? Probably not. There's a
Yeah.
lot to be said about having your hand on that land.
Mm-hmm.
And I would build right. If I let somebody build there, they'd build right in front of my place. I'd ruin my own view, so to speak.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
That's the other catch with a lot of the land. Even though they'll allow you to split it, it's how is it going to be split? Where's
right.
the easement going to go? Like we had a house in the neighborhood that could never sell. It was March of 2022. It started to be listed. Finally, somebody bought it for 940. Everybody lost their asses on it. They demoed the house completely, split the lots into 1.101 acres, and now they have the lots for sale 600,000 each.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
So wild.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the easement thing is a huge thing. So right here in my neighborhood, lots are running about 300, 330-ish per
Yeah.
acre and a
Yeah.
quarter.
Which isn't
There's an
bad.
acre and a, not bad. There's
Mm-mm.
an acre and a quarter behind me, but it's landlocked. So they
Oh yeah.
stopped it in between two or three other properties, and there's no
Wow.
way to get to it without building an easement across
Right.
my property.
It ain't gonna
And so
happen.
Mm.
they
Nope.
keep begging me and begging me and begging me. They're like, we can help you build your shop. We can help you build your pool. We can help you. So,
Yeah, money talks. Show me the green. Show me
right,
the guacamole. Hit my number, then maybe. Everything's at a price, right?
right. Yeah. So there's a lot of that out here and in your neighborhood as well, I'm sure. So easements are huge.
Ours can be unique because typically they're rectangle lots, so the front of it is what's on the road. The one on Cloud was unique because it was I don't know, a vertical rectangle. Is that right?
Mhm.
Right.
Instead of no horizontal rectangle instead of vertical. So horizontal. So they could actually there was no easement needed. They just split the lot down the middle, and each side has its own address on Cloud.
Oh,
There's
nice.
the one I just sold at 2.5 acres. There's no way without putting an easement in because they'd have to go behind the property.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we hear a lot about Buckeye, like getting all these the well, at least the West Valley, getting all these not only houses, but now they're coming in with a whole bunch of businesses, rec areas, all that. I haven't heard anything about that on the east side. Obviously, there was that Arizona Athletic Complex now, right? The big one in Mesa, which was I think it started off as Bank One Ballpark.
No, that's Bankwell Ballpark's down in Phoenix, Marco. That's where
Oh
the
no,
Diamondbacks
the
play. I
Bell
cannot
Bank,
believe you
Bell
just did
Bank,
that. Everybody caught that online,
Bell
right?
Bank. That's
Everybody
yes.
caught that, right? I'm gonna
I
make this a
think
little thing, and this is your Phoenix Realtor, everybody.
I need another copy. What was
Bell.
it?
I know what you're talking
Bell
about.
Bank.
It was Bell Bank. The one was that the one where the
I'll
family
bank.
got busted for all
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
fraud and stuff. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
right. But
It
do you guys
was
know if is there anything else that caliber going out in the East Valley?
Not that I know of. I mean,
no.
there's something going on along Power Road and Williamsfield right now. I'm not really sure what they're doing because it's where the Gilbert, well, it's not just Gilbert, but the main, it's an East Valley training for East Valley training for firefighters and police officers. And then they had this really cool lake, but now they have it all chain linked off and they're doing all this dirt moving. And I
Hmm?
saw something on signs about it's going to be some kind of massive park, which is cool. So I don't think it's going to be like the Bell Bank Park as far as the sporting aspects concerned. It could be, but I don't. There's not a lot of that. They're more just mowing down the farms and putting up subdivisions, and then they put the little
Mm,
stuff inside the subdivisions. But I don't think we're going to see another big thing like that Bell Bank because that's right off this between the 60 and the 202 on
Right.
Ellsworth. So that's accessible to. They probably have soccer out there, Marco.
Oh, I've been there many a times.
Oh, right on.
Many
Yeah.
a times.
So tons of stock. They have it's a lot of fields, right?
Oh, it's like they have like 20 fields or
That's
something like that,
insane.
you know.
That's insane.
But the only reason I bring that up is
Yeah.
because I mean they're building so much out East
Hmm.
Valley, Apache Junction,
Sure.
East Gilbert, Gold Canyon now, obviously Queen Creek and
You're
um
seeing more and more
West.
stuff going further out, like the Gilbert, Chandler, Tempe, Mesa. Those places are kind of landlocked now. So they're going further and further east. Like it's blows my mind that when I moved out here in 2003, we were at Riggs and Gilbert, and it was just kind of everything east of us was just quiet. Queen Creek was
Mm-hmm.
there, but not like it
Mm-hmm.
is now.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going further, like everything that was else just that was west of Ellsworth and Hunt Highway was desert. It's all houses now.
It's all houses.
Once they put Eastmark, yeah, you can relate to this, Kimberly, I'm sure. Once they built Eastmark,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they had to fill this map void because right, Eastmark was Ellsworth and Ray, and there's nothing from Ray to Hunt Highway. So now
Right.
they've been going in and kind of filling those pockets up with schools and commerce and shopping centers and all that kind of jazz, which now they have to spend $160 million, I think, just to fix the freeway mess up out here because they didn't
Well,
do it right.
on that note, so
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard, but out here, so Gold Canyon is kind of landlocked, right? There's only one
right.
way in and one way out off of the
Yeah.
60. So they're getting ready to throw in an offshoot off of the 60 that cuts directly south
Okay.
out towards Queen Creek and Hunt
Oh,
Highway and hooks
right
into
on.
the 24 and
Oh,
makes a
yeah.
new loop.
Cool.
And once they get that, Marco,
Oh,
there will
Yeah.
be new things that come.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
they've
got it.
been promising that for probably 5 years now, and we haven't
Mm.
seen it. But I
Yeah.
know that it's actually on the DOT website. You can pull
Wow.
maps of it, so it's in the works. It's just a
Cool.
matter of putting down
Yeah.
roots. So they haven't done it yet.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if I was, like, obviously, there's a lot of companies headquarters out west now, where
Yeah.
Buckeyes was.
Hmm.
But I'm thinking, like, what would be the incentive other than a lot of land for you to live out in Gold Canyon? Because that commute would be just crazy,
Gold
right?
Canyon is not going to let big companies out there, man. Gold companies,
They're
No,
very
no, oh hell
protective.
no, hell no.
really.
There's too much
It's
mountainy, there's too much hiking. There will not allow what's going on with all the data centers and shit. They'll knock that. They'll shut that down.
Really?
they
It's
put a
uh,
Maverick out here recently, and the
mm.
people had a panic attack.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, no, but see, like the base of Santan Mountain, they sold a bunch of land off, and they're building luxury homes. I'm like, you just destroyed Santan Mountain. You're turning it into South Mountain now. Where
Yeah.
South Mountain, houses wrap around it. That's what they're doing to Santan Mountain. It's going to suck because they've built so much now. Again, off that Hunt Highway going south that didn't used to be there. There's tons of houses and shit. And I don't know how I did a thumbs up. That was pretty cool. Um, it's insane what they're doing. So, but I don't think Gold Canyon is going to let that happen. I don't. I just because Gold Canyon is too much of a tight knit little community. I mean, it is what it is. But it's not. They don't have the infrastructure set up for something like that.
Mm.
Whereas like what they're doing up in the north part of Anthem, over north
Right.
Phoenix area by Anthem, that's all completely vacant desert land. They're building that massive
TSMC.
chip. Yeah, all that's going to be insane. And so that's a really good location because you're not too far out of Phoenix. You're not too far away from going up north. You got freeway access, but I don't think Gold Canyon, Apache Junction, Mesa, from a freeway standpoint. Gilbert and Chandler's not going to let that shit happen because they'll raise up. I mean, when I lived at Riggs and Gilbert and Riggs, everybody was in an uproar about the gaming casino that was going to go off of Gilbert and Hunt Highway. Like they were freaking out.
Hmm.
But it's that was their land, so they could do what they want. But legit, everybody was pissed just for that. So I can't imagine any type of big manufacturing company coming out here and being comfortable. It's a little too. I mean, I'm 45 minutes from the office. How about
Yeah.
you, Kimberly?
I'm about the same. Yeah, an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna want to be that far from
Right.
downtown Phoenix for.
Most of my
Yeah.
clients, most of the people that are living out here in Gold Canyon are retirees.
Right,
They're after the
exactly.
golf courses.
Exactly.
They're
Mhm.
after the quiet. And it's
Karen,
interesting.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
I just had a client that he really wanted to move, and he'd been out here since he built his house new, and he's in that 80-year-old retiree age.
Yeah.
But now he's needing to get closer into town because of
Health.
hospitals,
Yep.
family,
Mhm.
because it is such a drive. It is such a
Yep.
commute.
Yep.
So people ask me all the time, well, can I rent my house in Gold Canyon? Probably not a good idea. You can
Mm-mm.
VRBO it, but
Yeah.
12 months out of the year is an unlikely event.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No, because there's no hospitals
Cheap
out in Gold Canyon, is there?
Closest
the-
one is Apache Junction, Ironwood.
Okay. Yeah, I
Kim,
didn't think of that.
So
So for us regular agents that don't
Regular,
see
regular.
any
Regular. None of you
horses
are regular.
or
This
livestock
is the real
on.
estate guy, for heaven's sakes. We just do other things. He does the real estate.
Uh-huh.
So for us that don't see livestock on properties, right? As far as like a horse property, what are some of the things that are different? Obviously, there's gonna, eh, but as far as like contractor, I mean, I've
Yes, ma'am.
never dealt with that. I don't think I'll ever deal
You've never
with.
sold a horse property?
No.
There's no difference contractually.
No difference.
The only real difference, and Kimberly will agree with this, is the sewer or septic.
Uh,
That's the
And
only,
well,
and
and
well, right.
well.
Those are the only two addendums that
Oh,
are typically ever associated with horse property. I haven't done a well one in forever. How about you, Kimberly?
I have not.
Yeah,
In fact, most of them, so where I'm at and east, everybody's on Arizona water,
yeah,
which I know
yeah,
a lot of people out south are too, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
closer to the Goldfield Mountains, so north Apache Junction,
Hmm.
those guys are on wells and they've dried up. So now they're
Oh, no
oh
shit.
hauling
gosh.
water out
Wow.
there.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That
And
sucks.
that makes the sell out there really difficult because
Yes.
no one wants
Mm.
to stock water. So
So
No,
how do you, what's that conversation look like for a client? Like,
I'm not selling your
um
house because you have to haul water.
we will in the beginning stages, it's a lot of, are you aware that this is
Hmm.
going to be a detraction from the
Hmm.
value of your
Hmm.
home? And so then it becomes one of those things where people are looking at the land value
Yeah.
and the potential for it down the road, the investment of that land. Because eventually,
mm,
with where that land is at, they're going to put water in out there. They're going to have
got
to
it.
run something out there because they don't have it otherwise.
But the way they're
But
going to get around that is they're going to build those luxury rentals. So
well,
they
there's
don't
that.
have to have water out there after the 7 years as it goes away, because then they'll just turn them into houses themselves. And by the way, because they're rentals for 7 years, we don't have to guarantee 100 years worth of water. So you guys are all just on your own.
Ooh,
Wait. Say, you just lost
So
me.
that's
okay,
interesting.
Okay,
okay,
yeah,
What's
what's going
that?
okay,
on here?
okay, okay.
Where did
So
rentals come in? Yeah.
we've had this conversation before on Fireside Chat. So you're seeing a lot of the rentals coming up, right? Luxury house rentals. That you can rent this little house. There's zero footprint homes, the little neighborhoods. I see them. I
Where
pay
they have
attention to.
tons of them out here, tons
Okay,
of them.
correct. So the reason they did that, Marco, anytime you come into a subdivision, like where I lived in Riggs Ranch Meadows, it was Riggs Family Ranch. Okay.
Hmm.
So when the developers came in and bought Riggs Family Ranch, they had to guarantee 100 years worth of water. So they take the irrigation that
Right.
the Riggs family had, they sold it to the cap, and then they bought the water back from the cap, and that's what guarantees the 100 years worth of water. Okay.
Right.
We all understand that from our basic when we went to school and whatnot.
Right.
Because it's Arizona and because there's so much concern about water now and the potential for drought, things like that, like Kimberly just alluded to, wells are drying up. So these builders are going to come in now, they're going to start building these luxury rentals. Kind of like the high-rise condos, right? You build a high-rise community, you have that 7 year window of the contractor's liability, right? So you wait till the sixth year, ninth month, and you file all the lawsuits, right? Because you still have that window to do that.
Hmm.
With the luxury rentals they're building now, the single family homes, what they're doing is they're building these houses, zero footprints. You come in and rent these houses out, typical rental thing. And then in 7 years, when all the warranties and the contractor stuff's all gone away, then they can turn around and do what they do in apartment complexes and flip them to condos. So you went from rental to ownership. Once you go from rental to ownership after that seventh year, you no longer have to guarantee water because they were never a subdivision that was built to live in. So because
Wow.
they're not built to own
Oh,
the land,
jeez.
then you don't have to guarantee the water because it's just a rental. But once you flip it from rental to ownership, that's how they're getting around the whole 100 years worth of guaranteed water because, well, it was a rental.
They're
We
not new
rented this.
builds. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the
It's
catch that they're
just
doing.
resale. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
sneaky. Oh
it's
my
totally sneaky.
gosh.
Legit, we had this conversation. It must have been before you came to Broker Sub. We had this conversation at Fireside. It's a really slick legal way around that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, those things that are there now, I can think of a couple around me in my area, and they're mind-boggling because there's zero lot lines. Like you could open your window and then reach over and grab sugar from your neighbor and bring it back into your house because it's that tight. And they're legit, just luxury rentals. We went to a friend's birthday party. That's what they were. I was like, oh shit, these are those things. And legit, they're little They look like little patio homes in a community that's gated, and they're all rentals, luxury rentals. And then
Yep.
eventually they're going to sell them, and then oh, water? Yeah, we didn't have to guarantee water because it was never an actual residential ownership community,
That is so crazy.
right?
I've never heard of that. I mean, that's sneaky and clever,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
And both at the same time,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
But yeah, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but when Kimberly
Yeah,
said that, that totally took, butterfly.
yeah. So Kimberly, like going back to the no wells or the dried up wells. So people are out there, they're banking that at some point they're gonna have water running, right?
Right.
In your opinion, is land just too expensive still out there to buy? I mean, is it?
Mm-mm.
Everybody is the land, the lots that go up, and I'm amazed by this. The lots that go up, in between me and Chris's listing, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot that just went up, and 90% of that lot is unusable. It's the
Mm-hmm.
wash,
Yeah.
and it has been on the market for maybe 2 or 3 months now, which isn't really long in the
Mm-mm.
perspective of land.
No.
But the number of people that have been there and taken that number down and are significantly considering it to purchase, it just amazes me. So they sold a 2.5 acre property out here recently, just on the other side of Mountain View where your listing is, Chris, and
Mm-hmm.
they sold it in like 2 months.
For how
I
much?
mean,
No.
people are buying the land. I didn't look to see how much
Okay.
they got it
Yeah.
for. I think it was
Yeah.
about, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was 549-ish.
Okay. Which jives? Which
They
jives?
had it
Because you
at
said that. Yeah. Because
589.
because
Yeah.
you said the acre and quarter was about 300 grand. So that jives, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but people are buying the land out here. It's
Mm-hmm.
those lots that are on the
Hmm.
north side that are the ones that go the slowest. If they're east, especially east of Mountain View, or near Mountain View, they're flying off the shelf out here. We can't hold on to them. If you
Well,
Really?
can get a land deal out here, you should grab it up because you'll get
well,
a good,
well,
good deal out.
that and the
Wow.
view.
Yeah, right. Your client's home is beautiful. I went and it was the busiest open house I've ever done,
Right on.
ever.
But
There were
nobody bought it.
10 people that walked through that day. It was incredible.
We'll do another one.
So yeah, I know I need to go back over there. They call it Mountain View for a reason, right?
Right.
So it's very, very, very Mountain View-ish.
And those are the superstitions.
Correct. Yes. And on the north side, there's a totally different view. So the north side
Yeah.
of the Superstitions is on the way to Canyon Lake. And those homes over there out by Mining Camp, where Mining Camp used to be, if anyone's familiar with
Yeah.
that, where the
Yeah.
Goldfield Ghost Town. And
Yep.
that's where the wells are drying up. That's where
Oh,
people have
okay.
to be very careful about water. Over here on the south side of the Superstitions, we are tied in with Gold Canyon, so we've got Arizona water. It's almost like cutting the mountain in half. Everybody on the south side of the mountain's got water.
Wow.
So,
Water.
yep. And it's a commodity out here. You gotta get
Oh
land with
yeah.
water.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
So
are you on city water or are you on well water?
I'm on city.
Cool.
I'm on Arizona water.
Nice.
And
Right.
everybody says, well, they're well water too. And they're just gonna dry up eventually as well.
Now
There's
are
a
most
lot of people on that well water if that's the case.
Yeah.
and most of
Yeah.
these I assume most of these are shared wells.
Yeah, you will find, I would say, sometimes up to 4, even 6 homes on a shared well out here, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On the bigger acreages, I've seen 2, right? 2 homes will be on a well, but they'll both have like more than an acre and a quarter, usually like 2 acres apiece.
Right.
But even then, those wells, those are the ones that in the last 10 years, those wells have started drying up. All
Wow.
those wells in North Apache Junction.
For some of us, I've never done a well. I've done septic.
Oh, nice.
So obviously with the septic addendum, what is the wastewater
Yep.
addendum?
Yep.
Right.
There's a well addendum. Can you
Correct.
just paraphrase what's in that addendum? Either one of you? How does that work?
Chris might know better than I, but it basically just gives an accounting for where the well is located.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and how deep the well is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some information like that that's included on the well addendum. And then you
Yep.
have to have it pressure checked, right? To see if
Yep.
it'll bring water up
Mm,
to the home.
Right. And then if it's shared, then it's recorded as part of the
Correct.
transaction. So then you have to, verify that the ownership is what it is. And then the fun little caveat of that, if one of your neighbors turns into an asshole and they have the master key, guess who's not getting water?
oh.
Yeah, it can be tricky, man.
It can be very,
Oh.
The last one I did was Rio Verde, and that was a nightmare.
oh Lord.
Yeah, it was years ago before the cast they had. But that was a unique house because it was kind of built up. It was a flood zone, but it was built up in the flood zone. So it basically just created your own man-made lake when crazy 100-year storm. So it wasn't, the house never actually flooded, but that was the biggest issue we had with it is they kept coming back flood zone from FEMA. It's like, it's not a flood zone. The house is out of the way of the flood. And then they had their well and then they had their septic. So it was a very, I sold that house 6 times before it actually sold and took.
Wow.
It's crazy. But I mean, it was a great piece of land. It was a really nice house. It just had those 2 little caveats that as soon as, and I'm that guy, as so as you guys, as I assume you are, you put the disclosures and stuff in the MLS. So they were there. So it would frustrate me. Like, this was disclosed, man. Like before you
You
wrote
knew
the offer,
about
you
this.
had this. Like, come on. You're killing me, Smalls. And back then it wasn't that kind of market where it's a stigma going back on, right? Now it's a stigma because it's like, why'd you go back on the market? Because everything was still turning. But yeah, it took 7 months to sell it. And I had it under contract 6 times before it finally closed. And part of it was the FEMA, part of it was the well.
It's funny that you mentioned Rio Verde. I feel like that's getting a lot of attention now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that are looking for land that don't want to be on the east side, they want to go north. They don't want to. I think for a while, Cave Creek was kind of hot.
It
right?
was.
And now I think a lot of people are looking at, well, not Troon because that's kind of already kind of saturated,
Pricey.
but now they're looking at Rio Verde, right? I mean, at least I've had a few people say like, "Hey, what about this spot up there?" I'm like, well, I don't know. Pretty far away, but
They have some great properties out there, but they are water. You water caution.
Yeah.
They've already shut them off once.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
I think the biggest appeal is because we're getting so populated, because we keep growing and we keep pushing everything out east and west. There's some stuff north and south, but not to the extent that we're seeing east and west development, right?
Right.
I really think we should fill the gap between Maricopa and Casa Grande and from Casa Grande to Tucson, because it's just desert. Like, come on, stop building in the mountains and destroying that. Let's just, go south.
Right.
Build a super train, and you just get from Tucson to Phoenix in 10 minutes.
Well, I think before that,
great idea.
I think before that, we're gonna see Coolidge and Florence connect. I think.
Yep.
I agree with that, because they're already getting pretty damn close, man. They're already building like crazy.
They're building like crazy, and people know about it now. I think before it was like Florence, no, don't go. That's a jail, right?
Well, yeah, there is the jail part, but the part that they're building is what is it? It's southwest of the prison area. Because I've sold a lot in Florence, and I've actually did some BPO stuff in the town of Florence where the prisons are at. Yeah, nobody wants to live in the town of Florence, man.
My very first transaction, my very first deal, was in Florence.
Right on.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's wild.
It was.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was cool. It was.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I learned by putting myself
by fire. Trial by fire.
First open house I did.
Okay.
Got a client. They wrote that same weekend.
Nice.
And it was crazy. I didn't know.
That's
anything.
awesome.
There was a claim. I sold one out in Maricopa at a new build, and when I walked into the new build office, there was a person in there unrepresented, and of course I'm like, "Oh, you don't have anybody helping you? Is there any way I can help you?" And she goes, "No, we've done this 11 times."
Wow.
And I was like, "This is your 11th new home? What are you doing? Are you renting them out?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Let me tell you a secret." And so she said, if you go on the DOT website, you can see the pre-planned freeway system. And wherever those pre-planned freeway systems are, there will be new build communities. So she would go into the new build communities and buy in the first phase and hold until it was built out and rent it the entire time. And then she would sell it at the peak of the community right before they put the freeway exit on or whatever.
Mm.
And so she was just
Wow.
traveling all along from Florence to Maricopa, picking
Hmm.
up every new build community.
That's
She had already
brilliant.
done 11.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Wow.
So that's kind of, if you think on it, they're going to connect it all. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of
Yeah.
they,
Oh yeah. I
and
just wish
Queen
they would.
Creek will fill into Gold Canyon too, is my anticipation.
Yeah. I just wish they would build the freeway systems first. Like, it's
That'd be
coming,
easier.
man.
That's
You
not
know it's
sexy, man.
coming.
Building houses is more sexy than building a
I
highway.
know, but it's coming. The 202 that I go on the east, they're widening the 202. They're widening the
Already.
bridges. Like, you knew this was
Already.
coming, man. Like, there's no way you didn't know
Well,
this was coming.
you're getting on it at the 24, right? What a
I don't I don't
nightmare.
I don't I don't go to the 24. Luckily, I get
Okay.
on because I'm on Power Road in Chandler Heights.
Oh, okay.
So I get on, either Val Vista, Lindsay Gilbert, whatever my decision is that day. But it just blows my mind that they're legit. They're widening the whole thing, where it just
Yeah.
Already.
and they're destroying it, and then bringing more. It's just the bridges are what blows my mind. Like, how do you expand a bridge? And they've done it. It's freaky, man. I don't get it. They should have did it. They knew it was coming.
Yeah,
And
the infrastructure piece doesn't make any sense that they don't
No,
build with the preparation for that,
no.
because
That's
they
the
never
kudos
have
with
enough.
right. That's the kudos with Maricopa. Maricopa did it right. Maricopa built what, cobblestone and El Rancho, Rancho El Dorado, and then they built all the commerce. Right? They built two massive subdivisions, and then here's all the commerce that needs to help supply those subdivisions, and then they continue to build. Where Queen Creek built all these houses with nothing. There was a gas station at Gansel and Ironwood, a Chevron. That was it. That dude made so much money, I heard, in the first 2 years, he sold it and walked away retired. Just
oh
from
man.
having the
I
only
believe it.
Chevron gas station out there. That was it. I would meet clients out here. We're going to Queen Creek. I'll meet you at the
Well,
gas station.
and that comes back to my point, like when I was
Yeah.
talking about where's the business? Like what's going to sustain all this in Gold Canyon and
Right. Well, a
like
lot of people now can work from home, from COVID.
uh,
Like, I have a friend who owns my office. What was it? My office suites now or something. It used to be my lending something on Cooper and Germain. There's a State Farm building in there that was built and fully furnished, and then COVID hit, and now it's still there because State Farm had this 15-year lease or some insane amount of time associated with that.
mm,
They walked it because they thought about purchasing part of it. Like, kid you not, he's like everything, every level, every room, rising desks, computers, everything's just all covered with plastic. So they spent
Wow.
millions and millions of dollars to furnish this thing. They're spending millions of dollars in rent, but because their lease is what it is, it's a shell with nobody in it.
mm,
But they still have to maintain it. Because once COVID hit, what did that do? Oh, you don't have to work in an office anymore. You can work from home, which is going to cut our overhead,
right.
which I think is stupid. But I mean, how many people do we work with that, hey, it doesn't matter where I live, right?
Very true.
Yeah.
I commute. I can telecommute now. Which is bizarre, but
So Marco,
so, yeah. So yeah, go ahead,
oh,
Kimberly.
sorry.
No,
I
go
was
ahead. Go
just
ahead.
gonna I was just gonna say, as far as retail is
Yeah.
concerned in the East Valley, one of the newest things they're doing is called Medina Station,
Mm.
and it's a 64-acre. I'm reading this as I tell you about it. It's 64-acre mixed-use development, and it's right off of Signal Butte and 60.
Mm.
So for anyone in Gold Canyon, that's a 10-minute drive.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the closest thing, but it's a Mesa address.
Right.
So the taxes on it are cheaper than Pinal, but
Right.
they're right on the cusp of Pinal. So everyone from Apache Junction and Gold Canyon can access that. But they're going to have a Dick's Sporting Goods, a Target. There's going to be lots of new apartments, over 353 unit, 4-story elevator style apartment complex, a 2-story Dick's Sporting Goods, which is 84,000 square feet.
Mhm.
And they're going to have
Yeah.
over 100 different dining and retail stores. So there's going to be a boot barn. It's kind of like Santan Mall is what it's going to
Sounds
be
like it. Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
So Kim, you being like a true kind of East Sider, horse properties, views, environment, all that. How do you feel about that? Like, what's your take on it? Is it good, bad? Like, I just want to get like your perspective as a realtor.
It makes it makes sense where they're putting it. It's a good investment for the communities that are around it.
Mm,
There's a lot of building in that area that comes all new homes on both sides,
right.
and the retail hasn't been there, just like what Chris is saying.
Right.
They built all the homes and the retail
Mm,
was at power. And so
Hmm.
this brings
got
the
it.
retail a little closer to them. And it accesses retail for everybody, even east of that. So I anticipate that's just the beginning. Like they're gonna keep doing that a little bit
Yeah.
down the road at each. But Pinal is so expensive. That's the other thing that's killing us out here is the taxes are so bad.
Oh,
Well,
really?
and the other surprising thing about Pinal is the amount of apartment complexes they're building.
Right.
They
And
put
they're
one that,
doing the
yeah,
luxuries like you were talking about.
right. They just dropped an apartment complex off a Hunt Highway that like when they were building, I'm like, really? Who's going to come out here? And last time I drove by, it was filled with cars. Just
But I mean, we could talk about this like for
yeah.
an hour, but do you think this is like, because I see more and more
Hmm.
apartment buildings
I do
going
too.
up,
Hmm.
really nice like resort apartments. Is this kind of like what the new generation is looking for as far as real estate? Is this kind of like that? This is what they expect now, right?
I guess. I don't know. See, when we were growing up, man, it was a gas station on every corner, and then
Yeah,
it transitioned to a pharmacy on every corner,
right.
right? And then it
So
transitioned to nothing.
Mm,
I am a believer that they don't want the responsibility, the true responsibility of
yeah,
home ownership.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
why we have all these communities where the garages are facing
Hmm.
one another, right? And they have these
Hmm.
little common areas, but nobody
Yep.
has like a yard. They just have a patio. But we
Hmm.
have an Ironwood Station, perfect example out here. They're building it in Apache Junction. And they're 2-story, 3-bed, 4-bed condos. They're beautiful, but
Yeah.
they just have patios.
Yep.
They don't have
mm,
anything more than that.
Yeah, because
399.
society is lazy now, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are. Nobody wants to do yard work. Again, I live on an acre. It takes me 4 hours. Okay.
yeah.
You,
That's a
if
lot
I
of
Four
yard.
showed you
hours. 4 hours. I know you have 2.5, but it's yours all
I gave up.
grass.
Mine's all wild.
Right. See, mine's not. Mine's all grass. Like,
You just zippity
so
zaps everything in there.
That's
right. It's
right.
crazy. Anything else you want to share before we wrap this up?
No, you guys are amazing. I
Again,
appreciate all you
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I want to see you
Thank you.
more in the office, Kim. I
Dude,
think
she's
I've
an
only
hour
met you
away, man.
once.
She's an hour away,
I
Marco.
know.
Like,
Well, next time I'm in the east side, I'll come visit you, but you have to come visit us here downtown. Sound good?
Okay. That's a
yeah. See,
deal. I
see,
love going to the fire. I went the one time, right, for fireside
mhm.
chat. I need to come more often. The Wednesday night meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to come to that more often. It needs to get on my schedule. I always intended to be there, but real
Yeah.
estate really ramped up for me in April.
That's good.
Good.
Thankfully.
Hmm.
So
Good.
it kind of eliminated my abilities to run out there. But
Yeah.
I hope to see you guys more as well.
Nobody will ever be mad at you for being too busy
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good
Yes.
because,
thing.
That
because
is a good thing.
we are this wonderful boutique brokerage. We're great. We're great. We're really wonderful.
And
We're
we just
truly the
want to kill
best. We're
it.
truly the best.
It's true.
We're gonna
It's
make Nick
very true.
proud. We're gonna make Nick proud. Nick's the broker. It's all about we're fantastic people.
We
Every
love
one of
Nick.
us. Everyone. Everyone.
Well,
Well,
thank you so much, Kim,
yeah,
for
yeah.
Thank
for
you
being on
Yeah.
guys.
here.
I appreciate you.
And
Thank
sorry for
you.
my disappearing act in the beginning again.
That was really cool though.
The redneck tractor guy doesn't know how to listen, So I apologize for jumping in and out. But I heard everything, and Marco did a great job,
Yes.
continuing on
Thanks,
with the
Marco.
show. So,
Of course.
quite
Kept it
impressive,
going.
I got your
Marco.
back, Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great
Thanks,
day.
Kim.
Thank you for tuning in. This will
Bye.
be on
Have a
the
good
Have a
Facebook
one.
good
page
Wednesday.
tomorrow.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.